What's the statue about? She's got bigger hands than you. Oh no, yours is still bigger. Celine thought he was real. This is unusual. You're taller than him. Taller than a man in Indonesia. Look at that. So this building behind me is called the Toko Merah building, which means red shop, built in 1730. It was once the former residence of some Dutch governors, but when the Japanese came during World War II, they held medicine in there. Looks pretty good. Another statue, but there's no information, is there? So now we're going to head to this chicken church, but what are your top 3 things that you like about Jakarta?
In no particular order. 1, it's probably going to sound a bit bad, but Terminal 3, it's kind of had an airport.
It's a nice terminal. Yeah. It's the best international terminal.
Best. Mangosteen fruit.
Yeah. Because
this is the first place I tasted mangosteen, and it literally tastes like sweets. Such a nice fruit. I like that when it rains, it's still warm. It's not like cold when it rains. I actually have another one. Can I do 4?
Yeah.
That like spa treatments like massages and facials are actually really affordable.
If you want to know what mine are.
Yours are massages and facials as well.
Yeah, but I like special massages. If you want to know what mine are, look at this video up here. What is this building we're just passing? It is like a Balinese temple, isn't it? The forbidden city of Jakarta. Wow, this is a hidden gem.
What have we stumbled upon?
I know. Statue of a man on a horse attacked by a lion. Oh yeah, look at that. See, we're the only people in here, and no one's.
I actually knew we were allowed to be in here, but
Yeah, there was no like ticket office. Just walk in and see the goods on offer. Here with a guy, and he's here. Hello.
But I'm not ready
you're not.
for photo.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
I'm Lucienne.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
We were just walking in.
Yeah, we just walked in, just saw it.
Yeah, so sorry, we're actually not really open yet, but will be like a private mansion that has a few rooms upstairs.
Right.
And then underneath, on the ground floor here, there will be a few food and beverage venues, also special spaces, events, and this when the part that you entered is it's like a museum, like you said. So it actually talks about the whole history of the old town of Jakarta through a few hundred years ago.
When will it all be opened then?
We were just having a meeting about this because it's quite a huge space. So
Yeah.
I don't know if we can open everything at the same time. I think it's going to be one thing, and also to build people excitement.
Right, I see.
2 months after, a few months after, a few months
Yeah.
after, and then finally
Yeah,
everything.
that's a good way to do it, to like build anticipation.
Yeah.
So we've just come out. We met the like the owner's daughter, who was really good at English. Obviously, she'd been to America. She studied in Switzerland, she said, and they're doing it up bit by bit. Her and her dad, and these like little theme bits. There's going to be like a room with a DJ. There's going to be a swimming pool for a cafe.
Because it's like full of like artifacts that he's been collecting since the 1970s, and I'm talking like huge Buddhas and loads of like ancient Chinese stuff. Like it's amazing. So you're gonna try and open up loads of like different little like cafes by day and like function rooms by night.
So maybe in a couple of months, she said, come back, it'll be open. There was one room where before they started doing it up, it was just taken over by trees. The roof was just open, and now they've sort of covered over the trees and painted them white. It looks amazing.
Yeah,
it was an amazing place. Another thing she said was that their relatives were like the Rockefellers of Southeast Asia. They're obviously absolutely loaded, completely and utterly rich.
Yeah.
So we've just moved on to the beautiful river There you go. And we're going to head to this bridge. So it's actually called the Chicken Crossing Bridge. There must have been like a market nearby and people used to cross over to buy it. But it was one of 3 bridges that the Dutch built along this, and they straightened this canal so that boats could pass through, and then it would rise up and the tall masts would be able to get through so they could go and aid trade. Built by the Dutch in the 17th century.
Like, it looks really cool apart from like the cesspool underneath.
Yeah. At one point, the Dutch used to drink from this river.
Imagine drinking from that now.
Yeah. And the Chinese did, but they got less ill and they wondered why. And then they realised the Chinese were drinking tea, so the Dutch people started drinking tea, but they didn't boil the water, they just had tea because it was the boiling of the water that the Chinese were doing that killed the bacteria.
In the whole area, they thought drinking gin and constantly smoking would.
That's what they did.
cure that.
So now we're heading to the VOC shipyard along this really pretty street.
Smell in here.
Yeah, it smells a bit fancy.
I don't know if fancy is the right word you're looking for.
Hello. Where is this port? Hello. This river is utterly disgusting. That is bad. And look at this scum just forming. This is what's going on with Jakarta. Anyway, I think we found the old VOC. I think that's the Dutch East India Company. Must be with that anchor. Are there any old Dutch ships? I sincerely doubt it. There's someone asleep on a bench, and there's some white scum going past from what looks like a laundrette under a bridge.
Okay, so now we're heading to the Portuguese church. Hopefully we'll get there before it starts absolutely belting it from the heavens.
Yeah, the skies have darkened, droplets of rain, and it's a 26-minute walk according to Google Maps.
You see these pop-up tents everywhere.
No. Go! That way! Pule! Go! Tidak!
Alright, try your beans.
So yeah, you see these everywhere. And quite often there's a guy sitting there. What his job is, I have no idea. But they're there.
I know, they always look very relaxed.
Yeah, they're always very relaxed. You are getting a lot of looks. Have you noticed? Almost as many as I'm getting. Now you know what I feel like most of the time.
The only difference is you love it, I don't.
What's he reading?
The Life and Times of Jason Smart.
That's the best book that's ever been written. So, 14 minutes away, passing, it says, the Museum Bank of Indonesia. The vendors are all setting up for the nighttime trade. I just don't understand why such a massive building has been set aside as a museum to the Bank of Indonesia. Seems a bit overkill. Oh, look at that sky here. This part of Jakarta is not very pedestrian friendly. We're like walking along a bloody road. Look at this. Traffic from every direction. What's going on?
He just shouting, excuse me, I was bike, I literally can't go anywhere.
Jesus. Right, we're getting close to it. We've got to cross over this road bridge, thank God, because getting across a road in Jakarta is a bit of a nightmare.
This is like proper third world
It is,
situation.
isn't it? There's a really, really nasty smell. I think it was coming from that horrible river. Hello.
You never really know how stable these things are.
Yeah, I know, I'm worried about these sort of things. built in 1695, is the oldest remaining church in Jakarta. Look at these gravestones, maybe people who died from malaria. Apparently 15% of the population around here died from malaria. Hello. Hello. Do you like it?
Well, it's currently more like a function room
Yeah.
than
it's
like a peaceful church.
something going on over there. You can climb up the stairs to see what is up here. I'm guessing some sort of church organ. You come in. Wow. It's like some sort of bellows. Is this power? Oh, this must be like powering the pipes. I played an organ in a church. Terima kasih. Kasih.
Terima kasih kembali.
Well, I can safely say I've never played with another man's organ in a church before. And that's it. And that concludes, doesn't it, our little tour of this part of central Jakarta known as Kota. So, see you next time, whatever we're doing. Where will that be? Singapore. Singapore.